I have today chosen a piece of news that I am very delighted to dissect, analyze and interpret for you. Mumbai Mirror, page number 12, Dangal over the National Anthem. Even my handicapped mom wasn't spared at the theatre. There is a new type of patriotism sweeping the country. National anthems have been made mandatory to be played in the movie theaters before the movie starts. And you're expected to rise for the national anthem. We shall deal with the legal provisions of whether you're offending anybody, whether you're breaking a law rather, by not standing up. That is the purpose of the show. The show today will discuss whether or not it is an offense not to stand for the national anthem. But before I go there, that is the news article and I will tell you the law that governs this provision. Where is it? Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act 1971. For those of you inclined about your laws, for lawyers and law students, here it is. Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act 1971, Section 3. Will somebody scroll this down when I'm talking so it's clear? Okay. Now this governs the national flag, the national anthem and the Constitution of India. Now, also the Supreme Court recently ordained or suggested or gave an obiter dicta. I'm not sure if it was a judgment, but they mentioned that national anthem must be played in all movie theaters and people must stand up for the national anthem to instill a spirit of nationalism. Now, does the act make it mandatory to stand for the national anthem? And I read out, the act limits itself to prescribing punishment for someone who prevents others from singing the national anthem or disturbs those who are singing the anthem. The law is silent on sitting or standing while national anthem is playing. I want you as a citizen of this country to understand this very, very well. You cannot prevent somebody from singing the national anthem. As I'm giving an example, somebody was continuously whistling and hooting and intentionally causing disturbance to people who were singing the national anthem. That is a crime and that needs to outrage the feelings of an Indian citizen. I will feel terrible myself if I'm in the audience and if somebody is doing that. Somebody posting a derogatory comment about the national flag or the national anthem, that cannot be tolerated. And both of these, section 124A of the IPC for the first one, section 66A of the IT Act for the second one, are very clear that they will bring you under the ambit of law and you shall be prosecuted and you deserve to be prosecuted. However, standing or not standing, what has been the government's stand on this issue? The general provision of the orders issued by the Government of India on January 5, 2015, and we shall scroll this down, states, whenever the national anthem is sung or played, the audience shall stand to attention. However, when in the course of a newsreel or documentary the anthem is played as a part of the film, it is not expected of the audience to stand, as standing is bound to interrupt the exhibition of the film and would create disorder and confusion rather than add to the dignity of the anthem. And you need to hear this. The rules nowhere prescribe a penalty for not adhering to it, and therefore it has to work in accordance with the act. Therefore, let's summarize this quickly. National anthem is being played, you cannot insult the national anthem. You cannot stop others from singing the national anthem. You cannot be singing love songs when the national anthem is going on. You should not. National anthem is going on, you want to stand or not is out there in the grey area. Remember, I am not giving you my personal opinion here, which I will give you my personal opinion too. I am giving you the legal provision. I can tell you this much. By law, you cannot take the law in your hand and beat up somebody who's not standing for the national anthem. That you cannot do. So somebody is not standing up for a national anthem, you cannot abuse that person, you cannot lay your hands on that person, and you certainly cannot beat up that person because your sense of patriotism suddenly stands violated. And on a personal view, let me tell you this. Why does a good Indian citizen like me have to prove to anybody else what I feel about my national flag and national anthem? I will stand up. You know why? I will stand up because it is a mark of respect. But let me tell you something else. I will also stand up for the American national anthem when I am in America, the Australian national anthem when I am in Australia, and so on and so forth, because it is a mark of respect. But let me also tell you this. I will defend a fellow citizen from being beaten up by 2 or 3 thugs who feel somehow outraged that that person is not standing up for the national anthem. You can complain to the police. You cannot beat up that person. If you beat up that person, if somebody beats you or abuses you for not standing up for the national anthem, and if you're sitting quiet and not insulting in the national anthem, here it is, section 319 of the Indian Penal Code. Write it down. Section 323 of the Indian Penal Code. Section 334 of the Indian Penal Code, Section 350 of the Indian Penal Code, and Section 504 of the Indian Penal Code shall come in your defense against the thug who's beating you up. In this country, no citizen is allowed to take laws into his own hand except for very narrow provisions. Not standing up for the national anthem should not raise anybody's hackles to the extent it is now raising it. A great patriotic citizen does not have to prove to anybody that he is patriotic, and a great patriotic Indian citizen does not need somebody's proof that he is a patriotic citizen. This wave in the country with national anthem is causing misery, is causing trouble, and is causing law-abiding citizens to suddenly feel shy of a few things. People should rise up for the national anthem, there is no ambiguity on that. But if somebody is not rising up for the national anthem, nobody has any business laying his fingers on that person for not doing so. Go find a police officer and complain. And at least don't show so much disrespect for the national anthem by abusing and by beating up an Indian citizen. In this case, this lady is handicapped. This lady is exempted from standing up for the national anthem. How can a few people take this as a mark of disrespect to the national flag and beat her up? Beating up an Indian citizen is the biggest insult you show to the constitution of this country. Let me tell you again, this particular act covers the national flag, the national anthem, and the Constitution of India. When you are beating up a fellow brother Indian citizen, you are insulting the Constitution of India. We will try and scroll these provisions of law so you know where you stand, so there is no ambiguity. One of my viewers sent me a message yesterday saying that we should have something in writing, something in a summary, so you can peacefully note it down and use it in future. Thank you for watching. Send us your likes. Bye-bye.